Aw, look at the little piggies. They're so cute. Aw, I just want to squeak their little cheeks and be like, aw, little piggies. What? What? Oh, no, piggy. No. You don't poop in here. Bad piggy. Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am SocioPsycho, and today we have a special treat for you. Today we have Necro. Now, this game is currently in early access from Steam, and I have been waiting to play this game for a while now, and I'm glad that it's here. So do note that what you're about to see is early access, which is equivalent to beta. Necro was created by Dark Forge Games LLC, and it is and has support for Mac and Linux. Now, this is a third-person style RPG hack and slash command minion style game. It has a very intriguing feel with also a sort of renaissance from the older days of gaming. If you played the old Warcraft series, it has elements of that mixed in with a little Diablo feel, a little Warcraft feel, a little bit of StarCraft feel in the tutorial section. It took the ideas it enjoyed and liked from other games from the past and used that as its core basis, as all games should, but very few do. And because of that, it turned out very well. And what I mean by that is you take the best qualities that you enjoy from a series and you apply those best qualities to your game and discard the negative ones, and you build your game around the concepts that work from other games to create your image. Now, let us go into the options menu here and show you what we have. It may not look like much, but it is actually very sleek and easy to get around. Screen resolutions, there are a great many. I've not had any issues with tearing, lag, frame drops, anything like that. I've been sitting at 60 FPS with no issue whatsoever, and for those out there with better monitors, no doubt you can get higher than that, as I've seen mine go up to about 70. Soundly stays at 60 with no issues. Now you have VSync, light quality, texture quality, and they all look very decent in the game. The art style is a mix in between cartoonish, gothic, and gritty, and the combination of it is just right so where it doesn't look bad or it doesn't look childish. It's enough to appeal to all age groups without being one of two. It doesn't try to take itself too seriously, and it doesn't present itself as too childish, which is very important when you're trying to walk a line like that. Music and sound sliders. The music in this game is very good. A little bit times it's very odd from what you would expect to be hearing. Many fast-paced records and tracks. I want to say light metal without the screaming part, just the tempo beat, and it works. The music never imposes upon you, and everything fits well together. All the key rebindings, I've had no issues with my tests in rebinding the keys. Everything seemed to work out well and go over just fine. And then you have just some simple other little things. Tutorial will keep on for this purpose. Now you do have multiplayer, but what that means is local co-op pretty much. You can go through the story with somebody else. So let's jump into here and show you a little bit about what you can expect. Now, as I said, it has an RPG element in the game. As you can see, there is a lot more in the map than what you're actually able to play right now. Because it's early access, there's only 8 levels, but they do and plan on adding a lot more content. The game right now is relatively small and fairly easy to get through, but it's very fun. And while there is only 8 levels right now, there's a lot more as they show you on the map that they will open up to you.
Bound to the service of another, a sinister god, a great evil. No matter now, I only seek revenge. Clear, take me into your fold. Well.
So when we go into the status itself, there is 13 unlockable summons. 3 classes right now. You have the Outcast, which is the melee style warrior. Attack range very low, high health, high armor, cast range very low. So he's more of the melee character. When I played through with him, it was he wasn't overpowered, but it was definitely much easier than the other characters. Now there's a total of 40 skills also and 20 trinkets. As you can see here, there's other units that they plan on implementing in the future. So you have the Outcast, 2 other guys don't know about yet. The Grim Reaper, which is a ranged unit who throws bombs. I didn't really enjoy playing him that much, but that's just probably my mental mentality state. I'm not much of a range player. And you have the Alchemist, which is a summoner. He feels the most in tune with the summoning capabilities because of how he plays with a style of magic. Here you will get all your summoning abilities and pets, and this is just pretty much a follow-up of the mission that you're about to do. Now, as you can see here, as we go forward, you have a bunch of different trinkets. Each trinket does something differently. There are currently 20 trinkets in this beta version, and they plan on adding a lot more. And below, you have your upgrade capabilities for a person. Increase the health by 25% each time. Increase the damage, which increases not only your damage, but your minions' damage. Upgrade your blood, which allows you to harvest more blood from each person, making your blood pool 5 larger each time that's upgraded. So these offer a great deal of additional customization. And while you can see the summons per unit classes are the same, you can build it around the way your character plays for a different experience. And that's one thing that's important, is just because the summons are the same doesn't mean the game is the same. The way the characters play are definitely different. You definitely have your mage feeling, your warrior feeling, and your sort of roguelike feeling. And they offer different gameplay and difficulty each time. And it's very important for that to be stated because you get to play more the way you want to play, and that's important. Okay, so as you can see here, we're further in. I jumped in here to show you what more we can have. And what's very important here about this is the fact that, as you can see, later on, there are more summons which are going to be implemented. As the one in the red, it says coming soon. More monsters are on the way, and as we pick up, you can see different characteristics of these different units, and they each do something slightly different. So there is availability to play as you wish to, which basically rolls into customization and says we're not going to tie you down to one style. We respect you to get through the challenges as you feel you want to, and that's very important. And the game is very easy to control, and the map is never intrusive in a bad way. You can move it with the Q and E very easily to suit your needs as the situation in the map does change. And it never really gets in your way to an inconvenient style. The voice acting in the game is actually done quite very professionally, and the tutorial section is never really something that impedes your progress. It's something that slowly teaches you as you learn, something a lot of games fail in, which is very important to note because at no point does the game ever feel as if the curve is too much or too big in hopes of learning. And if you already know everything you need to, you don't need to actually have a tutorial on. You can go in the options menu and turn it off, or you can just walk right around these bubbles. It's not a big deal at all. It doesn't hold you back from playing it, which is nice. Okay, so here we have the Grim Keeper, which is the range class I was telling you about. He's not exactly my desired class, as he throws skull grenades onto the enemy, and he is a little bit slower. Now, what I did right there is basically summon a plant unit, and if you summon these plant units on top of a corpse instead of choosing to eat the corpse, the plant will be stronger. So we just summoned a chicken plant. Chicken plant. As each class gets stronger, as you get more advanced, it's really up to you to decide how you want to play and how you want to make the character yours. By showing you the different types of missions and how the environment does play a role with things. And so here we have this giant troll following us that we were able to feed enough blood to where he was able to get large enough. We hatched him from an egg. Why this is important is because it adds a level of depth to the game upon where you don't have to build this guy up and use him as a tank and heavy hitter to get past this story part. Because the enemy is very strong in this area. They are very difficult and they will try to kill you. But on this map, the enemy continues to respawn in small little groups, like a den of wolves will respawn. And so you can continue to get more blood to fuel your spells. So you don't have have to play the way they suggest you to. You can actually, like I did on my Alchemist, just go in with troops, different strategies, and handle it that way. With my warrior hero, I figured it would be easier just to do it this way because my warrior is not built really for summoning too much. It's built for front line combat, and the little bats I have, the main thing they offer is health regen. So there's a level of different playability here, and it respects you enough to give you a scenario that's really dangerous and say, hey, you deal with it as you see fit. And I can respect the game for respecting me in that fashion. So here's an important part to show you, is that the world does kind of feel a little playful and silly, as you can tell here just harvesting, but the environment is what's really cool because you can just destroy carts and tables and just make things explode all over the place, and it's really interesting to do so. Now after every mission you'll have this little score screen, will show your trinkets that you recovered and your stats during the mission, and then you'll go into the next mission. So the game has a wide berth of different types of enemies, from stealth units to range to hunter sniper type characters to assassins to regular farmers to blacksmiths, and they also have boss battles. Now the combination of all these different things can or will kill you if you're not careful, and the boss battle itself are interesting and curious in their own fashion. They can either be really easy depending on your class, or they can be really difficult. When I played against this boss as my alchemist, I basically killed him in 2 seconds. But playing as my warrior, ironically, who was able to handle all the trash pretty easily, had a lot more difficulty with the boss. And as you can see, the fights do require some careful consideration into how you prepare for the future, how you want to handle things. And there is a sort of skill set required, which is nice to see because it's not just, oh, well, you don't have this one ability, so you're screwed. No, it really comes down to build your character as you want, but make sure that you have the capability as the individual to back it up. And that concept and philosophy even shows in the achievements of the game. There are achievements where they want you to not spend any personal points into your character. So you have to complete the entire game by either not using any trinkets, not using any power-up abilities to get yourself stronger. So there is a level of skill required if you choose the harder path, or choose a path not really common. And I respect that. I respect the chance that it doesn't have a difficulty slider by se, but it has one very front forward in the availability of making the game more difficult by the player's choices. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a game I was excited about coming out, and a game I'm still excited about for the coming features down the month that are going to be popping out as it progresses towards launch. It is a very entertaining game. It's challenging where it needs to be, and enjoyable in every other fashion. I look forward to more upon this game, and I hope this has helped you in your decision. I would gladly recommend this to anybody who is interested in this sort of genre, as it is a really good game, and it's not one we see too many of. Controlling minions and being sort of a bad guy villain is something that is underrated, and it's not something we unfortunately get to see or play much of, and it's something that is truly, in my personal opinion, one of the more enjoyable scenarios to be the villain or the anti-villain, and it pulls it off very well to state your place, but not to question your moral judgment and make you feel bad for your actions. It's obvious that it's a game, but it's not going to be like, oh, you monster, how could you kill those people? It's like, well, I am a monster, so ladies and gentlemen, I have been SocioPsycho. I thank you for watching. This is now available on Steam Early Access as this video has been recorded. I'll see you next time.